Hello, fellow yarn crafters. Colleen here with YarnWars.com. And today's pattern tutorial, I bring you this fun and flirty scarf. Okay, so I am so excited about this pattern. I'm really happy with how it turned out, and I think you guys are going to love it. There's a couple of really cool things about this scarf. First of all, you're going to hear some beats. My son is upstairs making beats. And I got to tell you real quick, the intro to my video, my son made that for me. I'm so impressed and proud of him. He's doing something he loves to do. That's music. And so the beats that you're hearing through this video, which I'm going to try to make this as quick as possible, this is what I listen to all day. So anyhow, there are a few cool things about this pattern. First of all, the pattern is the same on the front side as it is on the back side. So you get that same look on both sides of the pattern. So no matter how your scarf might flip around on your neck, it's always going to have the same pattern. So that's kind of cool. And then the increments are so simple. It's just to add to the pattern that I give you in the video tutorial, which I'll go over with you, obviously, in the when we get to the tutorial. So one very cool thing about this pattern is it's one row. Now, a lot of you guys know me and my pattern. If you're here on my channel, many of you know that I like to play with stitches. So I got some kind of funky things going on with my stitches, and that, I don't know, it excites me to be able to either make up a new stitch or find new ways of doing things and just get a different look for it. So this one does have that. However, one row, just one row. And you guys can just whip through this, make it any length you desire to add more bulk to it. This is a double wrap, so if you just make it longer, you'll be able to triple wrap it. I'm going to show you how to do the infinity close on it. Using my seamless granny square close join, and so you will have it seamless from end to end close. So all you have to do is wrap it, no tie off, no none of that. So, and then I'm going to show you how to do this fun fringe, which many of you who have dealt with fringe know that fringe is kind of annoying to work with, but I think that if it adds some flavor to your project, you just got to do it, and you just got to do it. It really didn't take me that long to do it. It was a little bit annoying, but you can add it or you don't have to add it. It's going to be easily adjustable for a winter scarf. This I made as a dress scarf. You know, most of my patterns are dress scarves. So, okay, I'm going to jump off of this subject for a second. Just a couple of quick reminders. All of our social media links are down in the description of the video below. So you'll find our Facebook, Yarn Wars Facebook group, where you will find so many crafters, yarn crafters from around the world in knitting, crochet, looming, you name it. If it has to do with yarn, you'll find it at Yarn Wars. And of course, my YarnWars.com. If you go over to YarnWars.com, you could subscribe to get alerts to new patterns, contests in the group. And at the group, most importantly, 4 of the most amazing mods out there in Facebook land. We've got Jerry, Sharon, Martha, Jan. Amazing, amazing. I love them. They are the best, keeping that group drama-free, clean, you name it. So head over there, say hi, little shout out. And don't forget to subscribe here. Push that subscribe button. I will be adding another pattern, another free pattern. All of my patterns are free, but I'll be adding another free pattern shortly. So after this one, I've been working on something else. So every time I add a new pattern, there's a video tutorial for it, and you'll be alerted for it as soon as it gets posted here. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, and we're gonna jump into this tutorial. I don't even have a name for this scarf yet. But by the time my fingers hit the tutorial grounds, you're going to know what the name of this scarf is. So thanks for joining me, guys. I'm sorry for this little intro, long intro as usual, but I'm going to make the tutorial short. sweet, to the point, and I really hope you enjoy this pattern as much as I have enjoyed this pattern. But I'll see you in a bit. All right, everyone. So let's go ahead and jump right into this. I'm going to give you all the information, all the tools you're going to need. I will be working with a J hook, which is a 6.0 millimeter hook. So just make sure it's a 6.0, or, just remember that whatever hook size you use is going to alter sizing on this. So it's really up to you, and as well as like the tightness of your stitches and all of that. So we're going to want a J hook. You are going to want your yarn. We are using a 4-weight, and again, whatever weight yarn you use is going to affect the size of your scarf. So it's, don't not use it, just remember that you might have to alter it if you're looking for a particular size. So scissors or snippers, and you will want a blunt needle to hide in a few tails, couple tails. And this scarf that I made in the picture here, which was a double wrap, measured out to 48 inches. So that was perfect for a higher up on the neck area. So if you like your scarves to slouch down a little bit further on just a double wrap, then you're going to want to put obviously a few more rows into this. This one had a starting chain, which we will use today in this video, of 17. But if you want it to be longer, you're going to want to add increments of 2. So add 2 more, so 2, 4, 6, 8, however many more for the width, if you want a different width on that. So 48 inches on length. On width, we're at 4 inches on this scarf. So remember, this scarf, like many of my other scarves, has been designed for a dress scarf. So it's going to be a little narrower, a little thinner in width, but you can always add on to make that wider just by doing that simple thing. All right. So this yarn, I absolutely love. If you've worked with it, I'll bet you like it too. It's soft, and it's just really a nice fiber here. Lion Brand Jeans yarn. So this, again, like I had mentioned, is a 4-weight, and they do suggest an eye hook, I believe. And my eyes need a little assistance. So anyhow, we'll be using a J hook, but this has 246 yards in it. That gave me this length of scarf, the 48-inch scarf, plus all of my fringe, and then some. So I have more if I wanted to add more fringe, or if I wanted to add more length. So nice amount of yarn in this, and it's a really pretty yarn. You can see the little like kind of specks, lighter specks in it. I think you can see it from there, but it just looks really nice. I love it. Today's video, we are going to use the Mandala Ombre, and this is also by Lion Brand, but let's see if I can focus. Also a 4-weight. This one has 344 yards. So I am going to finish this, and hopefully I will finish it by the time I get this video out. If I don't, that's okay. I will post a picture of my finish, because I do want to work up a full scarf using this mandala. And I have come up with a name for my scarf. I am calling this the mandala, or the mandala. I've got mandala in my brain. I'm calling this the Cascading Waterfall scarf, because to me it just looks like a cascading waterfall. So I see it, I call it. And the wonderful thing about this pattern is not only do you see that on this side, but it is the same on both sides. You will have the same pattern, which is really nice, because You know, a lot of scarves are going to be different on one side than they will be on the other. And this one, it can flip any which way and you'll still have that fabulous design. So let's get started. Okay, so any noises you hear in my background are my dog. It will be my dog, Maggie, because she's over here breathing quite heavily today. So, like I said, I'm going to be working with this ombre and from Lion brand, and let's see how this works up. I'm hoping that it's the perfect color for a video. Nobody will have problems seeing it, hopefully. So let's see if I can scooch in a little closer. This camera does not like to, you know, all of my videos do not like to focus. That's just the way it is. So hopefully this works, but I'm going to start with a slip knot. Cross over, put your working yarn up the back right there and grab that with your fingers or your hook, pull it through. And we've got our slip knot. Pull it close to your hook. Now I said we're going to start with the starting chain of 17. So we're going to chain 17. I can already tell I'm going to love working with this yarn. Okay, so just for a quick reminder, there is a way to make this a seamless start, and that is by working in the back spine of your stitches right there. So we're going to end up with a chain or with a stitch count of 15 throughout. And what we're going to do is we're going to start either working into, working into the third chain from the hook or the third spine from the hook. So we're going to start by working one full round or row of half double crochets. And if I'm working in the spine, I'm just literally going in the bumps on the back of the stitches. So I'm going to work on the spine, 2, 3. I'm going to work a half double crochet into that third spine, and then every one following. Foundation chain is probably the most annoying round to work here. So just get through it. And it is a little bit longer when I do that foundation like that, because into the spine, because you have to get in there a little. It's not as easy as just working straight into that stitch, but gives you a nice finish, and it helps when you are making the infinity end of this and you need to make a seamless close, which I will show you in the end. So when we finish with this row, we will have a total of 15 stitches. All the way to the end. Remember, you can do this straight into your chain as well. You don't have to do this into the back spine of this. I'm going to show you why I am doing it into the back spine. Last stitch right there, we'll work a half double crochet. So after we finished our row of half double crochets, you have the stitch look that is going to look, it's going to be the same as the finish of your project. You're going to have the same start. So it's not going to have that single loop to begin. And I really like how that turns out. So we're going to stick with that. I'm going to do a quick, while I was out of there, I meant to do a quick stitch count and make sure. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15 stitches. All right, so this is the bulk of the pattern right here, guys. And it's so crazy easy how this works out. But we're going to start by chaining 1. Turn our work towards us. We're working into this first stitch right here. Okay, so pay close attention to what I'm doing here. I'm going to yarn over. I'm going to go in and up through the front loop only of that first stitch. Front loop only. And then I'm going to come down through the front loop only of the next stitch. If I can get that whole loop. Front loop only. Yarn over, pull through, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and then right here where my thumb is, there's a little space there. So we're going to yarn over, go back behind that, into that stitch area, try to pull it out, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. All right, so we made our first stitch of the round, first 2 stitches of the round. Okay, give me a second. My yarn is going to tangle here. I think I got it. I'll be right back. Okay, everyone. It looks like I might be dealing with this a couple of rounds here just because I need to get through the green. However, they had this wound up. It was tucked under, tucked under, tucked under. So you're going to know which one is next. We've worked these 2, and this is going to be our next set that we're going to be working into. Now, you need to be working into the stitches to get this cascading waterfall look. So make sure you're doing this and not this because, you know, it's kind of pulled our project over a little bit. So for our next 2, we're going to yarn over. And we're going to go up into that front loop only of that stitch. Front loop only. And then we're going to come down into the front loop only of the next stitch. So we're going to go up and down, yarn over, pull through 2, pull through 2. And then you got that little space right there. We're going to yarn over, go into that space, yarn over, pull through 2, pull through 2. Okay? And we're going to do that all the way down, up and through the front loop only, and down and through the front loop only of the next. So we're going to get that and then cross back kind of into that space and make another double crochet. Okay, and we're going to do this down this entire row. And I promise you, it is not as slow as I'm making this right now. I'm trying to make this something that you guys can see. I'm excited to see what this yarn is going to look like when I'm done. I love all of the little gradient variations of color in there, so very pretty. Do it all the way down. And once you get past this first row, it's going to get faster too because you don't have a lot to hold on to here. I've noticed that when I'm this close to the foundation. So we're going to work over these next 2 here. It's really as easy as that. And then back. And then into our last stitch right here, which remember it's not this, it's that. We're going to work a double crochet. As simple as that. Okay, so we've made our first row. Okay, guys, now for the tough part. We're going to chain 1, turn our work towards us, and do the same thing. Not tough at all. That is our pattern. So we're going to go in, this is our first stitch, and up through this. So when we come through, I'm just going to do this real quick to make it easier. When we come up with our hook, we're coming up here into this first loop and then coming down here through our front loop on our second stitch. Okay, if that helps at all, I hope. All right, and I hope you guys can see. So we're going up, through, down, and making a double, and then coming back into that little hole right there by my thumb and making another double. Up and through, and a double right into that little space. Okay, so it's a play on stitches, guys. That's all this is, and that's what I love to do with crochet, because you don't know right away what you're going to come up with at the end of that. But you know, so many times when you're doing something funky with your stitches and mixing it up, you really end up making something cool. So if I was going to give advice to anybody who's designing patterns, and yeah, it can be kind of tough for newbies when you can't call a stitch and that, you know, and they don't have a video to look at, and you have to just kind of wing it. And that's why it's getting a little difficult too for me to get my pattern writing out so fast, because I feel like I'm making up new stitches so often. And then remember, we're going to go into our last stitch here with a double crochet. Okay. Unless we want to pull it out, and in which case we'll do it again. All right, so I'm going to just show you something, if I can get that. There we go. Okay, so this is almost like accordion-like. You could fold this scarf up and up and up and back and up, and, you know, just like a fan, like a paper fan. You could make a paper fan. Okay, no, but you literally, once you get to the next step, you're going to see this little line of stitches here, that cascading effect right there. So let's do one more round or row. I mean, this is as easy or as difficult as it gets. I say that with all my patterns, but I really feel like my patterns are really easy. You just need to know where you're going into the stitches to do it, and then you can fly through it. So we're going to yarn, we chained one, then we're going to yarn over, go into the first front loop stitch, and then down through the front loop of the second stitch. Double crochet, and double crochet back in that hole, right behind the stitch you just made. And do this all the way down. So in through the front loop, up and in through the front loop, and down and through the front loop of the second for a double and a double. We're done. So I'm going to do this one more time really slow. Yarn over, up through the front loop of the first stitch, down through the front loop of the second stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through two, yarn over, pull through two, yarn over, go into the little hole right before the last stitch you made. You spit it out, Colleen. Yarn over, pull through two, yarn over, pull through two. That's it. And just make sure you're going into the next stitches. You know, just go through. Kind of feel like a knitter when I'm doing this pattern, because of how I'm having to flip the yarn over my fingers. Not that I don't ever do that with crochet, but it just feels so knitty. You know what I'm saying? So, yep, this yarn wants to give me trouble. It's just, for some reason, they tucked the tail into a very odd place. So, is that giving me any room to grow. Okay, I'll be back. I'm back. Okay, knocking the screen around and all. This thing got so loopy and I ended up just pulling it and it made it all very, very odd. But that's okay. I'm leaving it. I just don't feel like detaching and starting anew. So I feel like I'm in a very blurry video right now, guys. Okay, well, so getting back, we're going to continue. Maybe that I've got it here now. There we go. Thank you. So just in case that was blurry before, I'll do one more stitch. You know, yarn over, go up through the front loop only of that stitch, down through the front loop only of the next stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through two, yarn over, pull through two, yarn over into that little stitch before the stitch you just made, go in and make another double crochet. Do that into your next, and then then we're going to work a double crochet into our last stitch there. So as you see all the way up, you're going to be doing this kind of, it literally folds perfectly. It's kind of cool how it's working up like that. But all right, so now we're going to run one more row. And then after this, I'm just going to have you guys take off with this and grow it to whatever length you desire. So we're going to start chain one. All right, so I could have walked through that one, but I'm just going to kind of work through this row because I've kind of explained it, I think, over-explained it to you. It's really simple, but I'll do one. Up and through the front loop, down and through the front loop, double crochet, and then double crochet back behind that stitch in the hole that it left. We're coming on to this little flaw in the yarn. I'm not sure. Okay. Right there. Everybody needs a little unique touch, and that's going to be mine right there. So I'm not sure what's going on here, but it looks like I might have an extra stitch and I shouldn't. Oh no, we're good. Wait, we are not good. Hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then the one. Yeah, that's it. Okay. It just looked odd where it was going in, but I forgot this does kind of give us that ribbed look right there. So just keep working that. You see where that little thing ended up? It's kind of tacky, but that's okay. It stays. I didn't want to disassemble the yarn and reassemble. So I'm going to go off camera. I'm going to grow this out a little bit, just long enough so that I can show you an infinity close on this. I am going to complete a scarf using this yarn. However, I won't be doing that in this video. So, because I really want to get this released, but you guys saw the finish of the pattern and it really does turn out nice. You get these all the way up and then in the back as well. So everything is going to be fluid throughout. So you're going to have a very, very even looking project. Really pretty too. So, all right, stop the video. Go back if you need to take a look at the row again. I'm going to grow it out just long enough and I'll be right back. Okay, so I only did that so I could show you like how quickly you get through this. I know it looks like it's, but it always tends to be a little bit wider right at the foundation line. That all kind of evens out. And I think that I've grown it to a point where I can show you how to seam it, because that's what I really want to do right now. So I am going to do this in a way where I can take it back out just so that I'm able to complete my scarf. But I'd like to show you the invisible seam that I do for my granny squares, and that requires a different color yarn. So I just grabbed the remainder so you could see like how I've got quite a bit here on this jeans. I wish I had gone a little longer, but I mean, I love it. I love the length it's at, so it's okay. But so when you're wanting to do a close on your stitches, this is what makes it nice with how you started the project. If you started like I did into the spine of that project, or the spine of that foundation, there we go. And you're going to take your yarn, we're going to clip off. No, we don't even need to clip it off. I don't for the video. We're going to go ahead and thread our joining yarn into the needle there. So we've got these two, and I have a standalone video on this invisible join for granny squares. You guys will love this join. Many have said that it's the same as the ladder stitch in sewing. So hang on just a sec. Okay, so what we're going to do with that is we're coming into our first stitch. We're going to come in and through the fiber of that stitch. Okay, and I'm just going to pull it through enough so I have enough. And then we're going to come directly across, and we're going to do the same here. We're going to come in and through the top of the stitch. So you're just grabbing the fiber in the top. You're going through that little section right there. And you're literally going to go back and forth with this. I'm hopefully going to be able to show this to you. We're going in and through that, just in and through that stitch. And it's probably easier with I've got a real thick needle here. I'm not sure where my thinner one is, but you're just going to pull through that. And then we're going to come back to this next stitch on the other side, go in and just in and through. You just want to grab that under that fiber between the stitches and pull through. And you're just going to do that all the way down into the next stitches here. I just want to get enough of it so you can see. I'll just go down to maybe the end and all the way down. Okay, so you're going to probably see a little bit of this because I've got thicker blunt needle than I want to use with this. You just want to go in and through those fibers, the stitches there. So you're going to connect all the way down your row. You're going to connect all those stitches like that. And then the magic of it all, you're going to take both ends of this and you're going to pull it close like so. And like I said, this is really kind of a quick workup of it. You want to make sure you're matching up your stitches and that you're going, like I said, right into the correct area of that top stitch. But I do have a standalone video, so if you go back in my channel and look at my videos, you will see the invisible seamless granny square join, and you can use that for virtually any project where you're going to join something, especially an infinity. an infinity scarf is perfect for this. So if you start and end on the proper rows, nobody will ever see your seam. So this is a great way to close off your project. And if you mess up and you're thinking, oh gosh, I just wasted, no, didn't waste anything. Just pull that baby out of there and you're good. So it's a nice way to join if you're looking for something that won't show you any seam with any color yarn. So that's really nice. Okay, so we learned how to close this off in a seamless join. And now I'm going to show you how to add tassels. Now the tassels I'm going to add are going to be of also the brown color, only because I'm still working on this. Not to confuse anything here, guys, but just trying to make it easy so that I can continue working up this scarf with all of the yarn I have for it. So I'm going to decide how long I want my tassels, and it doesn't matter if it's a little long because you can trim it. And in the tassels that I made, I did 4. Just kind of fold over your yarn. And we're going to do it again. And then we're going to come back down one more time. And the reason one more time, and you can actually do it more if you want, but you want your closed loops to be on one end, and then you want your tail to be on the same end that you come down with your working yarn, that tail, because that is where we're going to clip it. Okay, so I'm just going to end with these here, but you can make more tassels if you want or no. So what you can do is just come into your project, just kind of decide where you would like for your tassels to be. Mine were a little spaced out, and you just come into whatever area along the edge of your project. I just put my hook right in there, and I go to the loop side of my tassels and pull that through. Okay, so now I have this loop here, and I'm going to grab the other end of that and just pull it on through like that. Give it a tug, tighten it up, and then you're going to do that down the row. Just, space it out maybe 1/4 of an inch, 1/2 inch, however far you want it. And then you can just go back down when you're done and take your dull scissors. Oh boy. And, that was some work. And just make your tassels all the way down, trim them up. Pretty tassels. So that's all there is to it. Very simple. Very simple. All right, guys. So I just did tassels along one side of my scarf, but you could do it along both to give it some more body. I liked it just on the bottom part of the scarf, but I'm pulling this out because, again, I am going to continue working this scarf until it's made. And then I will share my final on this particular scarf in the Facebook YarnWars Facebook group. So if you're a member over there, you will see my scarf when I finish. But guys, that's it. That's it on this scarf, and you just keep growing it and growing it and growing it until you have this beautiful scarf. And you can see on the bottom here, like it's hard to tell, but like on this, how it does kind of fan out on the bottom a little bit, but your scarf it will all even out and look just fabulous. There's the bottom start of this one. You see how it's a little bit bigger just because of those half double crochets in the beginning, but end with half double crochets in the end, like I did here, and it will all balance out. All right, guys, I said a whole lot in the beginning of this video, so I'm going to stop right now. And that is record time for me, but I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Again, don't forget, subscribe here to the YouTube channel for updates on new free patterns to come and on contests that we're going to be having in the group. We do have mini challenges. We did 3 runs 3 weeks in a row, and we're going to be running again the next week. We're going to do it, I think, in 3-week increments. That gives us a little break and then take a week and go back. So, all right, I'm done. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to comment in the comments below the video. And otherwise, you guys have a fabulous day. Happy yarning, my friends. Bye-bye.